Hey, do you remember being a kid? I know it sounds like an outlandish question to say at the start of the video, but do you generally remember being a kid? If you said yes, then you most likely grew up in the internet, watching tons and tons of videos, looking at foreign posts and looking at memes all of the time. Back then, 2 decades ago, 20 years ago, the internet seemed like a foreign concept to people who barely even know how to run the internet at the time, or barely even knew the internet even existed. If you were lucky enough to be born in an average or a rich family, you most likely had a computer. And if you had a computer, you had access to the internet, unlimited access. You can go anywhere around the web, like YouTube, Yahoo, and all kinds of places on the internet, even foreign posts. On the web, there was a bunch of communities that were thriving and still even are thriving to this day, like the Sonic the Hedgehog community that is still popular, very much so. And even the anime community. I'm not going to go in depth about anime because we all know it. We've all watched Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Before. But there is one piece of the puzzle that we are missing. If you're aware with the word fanime, it's just a definition of fan anime. And the fan anime that we are currently talking about in this video is Nyan Neko Sugar Girls.
Are you ready?
You know what? I kind of regret nothing. NNSG has to be currently one of the most fascinating fanimes that is currently out there on the internet because, well, all the other fanime just either kind of suck and is low quality or is just not as funny as this. NNSG is by far one of the most iconic things to come from the 2010s because it shows through its artwork being made in MS Paint. Some of the art around this time was very, let's say, interesting to look at, or really unappealing. The creator behind all of this is Yoli-chan, or Soap Opera 46, who's behind the entire series and all the art pieces that are shared on DeviantArt and around the entire web. But we'll get to her later. I mainly want to talk about the fandom and the show itself. PewDiePie reacted to this in 2016, and I certainly can make a 10-minute video or even more on this. So the best way to start off this video is, well, to review every episode. Let's get started. Episode 1 basically serves as the pilot for the series. We get introduced to 2 main characters we're going to be sticking with for the rest of the series because they're really plot significant. We got Raku-chan and Kaneko-chan. They basically play off each other like yin and yang because they're best friends and they even live in the same house, and I think they were high school friends according to what I remember. But they proceed to walk out of the cafeteria they were just eating in, and we meet our third main character, Hatoshi-san.
Well, I just happened to be walking by, and I saw you 2 lovely ladies walking.
Kaneko and Raku-chan proceed to talk to this guy, and it seems like Raku-chan is having a hard time conveying her emotions because she has a crush on this guy, and let's be fair, who doesn't? Anyway, Kaneko-chan leaves these 2 lovebirds alone and lets them talk for a little bit. And then after that, Raku-chan goes back home, and the episode ends while her house is painting out. Look, I know that's a very short view of the episode, but hey, what'd you expect from a 4-minute fanime in the 2010s? Well done on MS Paint. I wouldn't even try to attempt to do 5 minutes of animation my own self. But as the episodes get longer, the reviews will get longer. So, honestly, 8 out of 10. It's not really too bad. The animation does need a little bit of work, same with the artwork, but hey, what'd you expect from an MS Paint project in the 2010s done by a 20-year-old? Episode 2 starts off a little bit differently because we get the point of view of Hatoshi-san. As we see from Hatoshi-san's point of view, he is currently in bed. He gets out of bed and goes downstairs to get a delicious breakfast that he loves so dearly. After Hatoshi-san is admiring his breakfast, he looks to the left to see his window broken open by a 4th character we're being introduced to. And I shit you not, I'm going to butcher this. His name is Bachi's-san, I think?
Now calm down, hon. I'm just gonna take you to my secret lair, and we're gonna have—
He proceeds to tell Hatoshi-san that he's gonna kidnap him and take him to his special lair, and then kidnaps him and walks away with him. We cut to Raku-chan and Kaneko-chan buying underwear at underwear store Chan. Look, don't question me. Kaneko and Raku proceed to leave the store and hear Hotoshi-san being kidnapped from a blue car. I wonder who that is. Then the episode ends being a two-parter. Yet again, this is one of the short episodes of the season, so I can't really critique it much or explain a lot of the stuff in it. 7 out of 10 doesn't have a lot of stuff going for it, but it's decent nonetheless. Episode 3 is kind of a two-parter episode from episode 2, so I don't gotta really explain much because the basic premise is set up from episode 2. We start off the episode with Raku-chan's and Kaneko-chan's point of view as if Hotoshi-san is being kidnapped. They proceed to run as fast as they can while chasing the car, and we cut back to Hotoshi-san being tied up. Like, I don't know. As Bachi-san explains he's gonna have fun with Hotoshi-san for some reason, Hotoshi-san goes on a rant about being in a free country like America. I thought he was Japanese. You freaking liar. After that, Bachi-san hypnotizes Hotoshi-san with his gazing, majestic eyes and proceeds to make Hotoshi-san blush for some reason. And then Kaneko and Raku proceed to come in the most anticlimactic way possible through his window. They proceed to save Hotoshi-san while Raku-chan is untying him, and Bachi's-san being tied up in the background off screen. I don't know why this happened. It's just, it's kind of funny to me. I wanted to bring this up. I kind of want to use this as a gift. This is kind of funny. After that, Hotoshi-san flirts with Raku-chan a little bit more. He walks away, and then the episode ends. Yet again, another short episode that is a two-parter to episode 2, so not really much can be said, although the plot was very interesting. It was more interesting here. So honestly, 8 out of 10, same as episode 1. Keep it up. I honestly like it. So yeah. Episode 4 is finally one of the few episodes that are actually long enough to be considered an actual episode for once, instead of it just being 4 minutes. It clocks out at least 7 minutes, which is honestly pretty good for a web show in the 2010s. This episode started off with Kaneko-chan's point of view as she's resting in bed. We then later switch over to Raku-chan looking at the window at her neighborhood. She proceeds to go downstairs and opening the door to her house, and then comes across a crazy rabbit squirrel. She then picks up the squirrel, and the most iconic scene in the series happens.
So soft.
So yeah, after she gets bitten by the squirrel, she becomes depressed and starts talking about Hotoshi-san. I don't know what is happening here. And then we shortly go to Kaneko-chan's point of view, and she's having a friendly conversation with Hotoshi-san.
Oh, hello there, Hitoshi-san. How are you doing today?
Well, hello there, Kaneko-chan. You're looking very nice today. And I am doing fine.
Thank you very much.
Kaneko proceeds to tell Hotoshi-san that Raku-chan basically has a crush on him, and then he starts thinking about Bachi-san in the most craziest ways possible. Hotoshi and Kaneko proceed to talk a bit more, and then he finally leaves to go check on Raku-chan. He proceeds to open the door to her house, walks upstairs, and finally checks on her. Raku-chan proceeds to tell Hotoshi-san that she's sick, even though she potentially has rabies, and she doesn't go to the vet for some reason until like the next episode. That's beyond me. And then 10 minutes later, Hotoshi-san and Kaneko-chan proceed to give Raku a present. That's nice. She then thanks the two for the present, and the episode ends. Honestly, this was a really good episode. I really enjoyed the plot, and it was honestly one of the most interesting episodes to come from this season. So, honestly, 9 out of 10, it's pretty good. The art direction here was a lot better, besides some couple of frames, especially this one. You know what I'm talking about. Episode 5 is just as long as episode 4, so it's probably going to be around the same length as the last review. And for some reason, episode 5 is gone from Yoli-chan's channel. It was probably either to do with like copyright or something. I don't know why it was taken down, so we're just going to be watching a re-upload. I want to thank Ross Orange 2 for re-uploading episode 5. Thank you very much. Episode 5 starts off with the point of view of Raku-chan yet again. We see her proceed to get out of bed after she was woken up by a phone call thinking it's Hitoshi-san, but really it's just Kaneko-chan checking up on her. Kaneko advises that they both should go to the vet from the previous events that happened in the last episode, which makes perfect sense. Raku agrees with Neko to go to the vet, and then they proceed to hang up. An unknown amount of time passes before we see them walking to the vet, and they're talking to Hitoshi-san.
Well, hey there, Neko Girls. I was just about to go to your house, Raku-chan.
Kaneko proceeds to try to get Hitoshi-san's attention, but it looks like he's in a whole other world because he's dreaming about Bachi-san again. Naked. Okay. After that, they go into the vet, and we get introduced to our fifth main character that is also important to the plot, Vet Sama.
I'm gonna take some tests on you, Raku-chan. Just sit still for me. Thanks.
Oh yeah, don't mind the voice actors. Excuse me, voice actors. My quality. You'll get used to it. It's bad on purpose. They made it crappy on purpose just to be funny. Anyway, then Sama proceeds to do some tests on Raku-chan and reveals that she has rabies. Wow, who could have saw that coming? Then Sama asks Raku what may have caused this, and she replies with she doesn't know and proceeds to cry while Kaneko and Hitoshi-san confronts her. After this, Hitoshi-san confronts her a little bit more to make her feel better, saying that she's not alone and this will be okay. And then after this, Raku-chan was about to tell her feelings to Hitoshi-san while Kaneko-chan comes busting in the room with green tea and mochi ice cream. Raku-chan states that this is the best time they've ever had, like old times, and Kaneko-chan says one of the funniest jokes in the entire series to me.
I'm so glad we could have fun, just like old times, yeah? Oh, Raku-chan, wasn't that just 5 days ago?
And then after this, we see Raku-chan not looking so good and not feeling so good either, while stating that it might be the rabies that is causing her to be so sick. And then the episode ends. Honestly, I really like this a lot more than out of the other episodes. The animation and the art was a bit on the verge of kind of collapsing on itself. It wasn't really that good. It's definitely working than all the other episodes, but still an enjoyable watch. I'm gonna put 7 out of 10. It was very enjoyable. I have nothing else to say. Episode 6 starts off with the point of view of Raku-chan yet again. We see her in bed looking very sick as always, but even worse. She stumbles out of bed trying to catch her breath as she states that she needs to go outside to get some fresh air. She proceeds to walk outside for only 2 seconds and then falls on the ground. Seconds later, Kaneko-chan finds Raku-chan laying face first on the ground and proceeds to take her home to get her treated. Raku-chan wakes up an unknown amount of time later to look at Hitoshi-san and Kaneko-chan looking at her in the bed, and she looks even worse. Kaneko states that she's going to get some green tea and leaves Raku-chan alone. A couple seconds later, she drops the green tea and Raku-chan is gone throughout the window. Yeah, that's definitely not green tea. After that, we see Raku-chan running away from the house as he states that she's a burden to Kaneko-chan and Hitoshi-san just for being sick all the time. Back to the point of view of Kaneko-chan, we see her try to call Hitoshi-san and Hitoshi-san answers while taking a suntan. Kaneko states that they both should go look for Raku-chan, and Hitoshi-san agrees with one of the best animations I've seen so far from Yoli-chan.
What? We better go find her.
Back to the point of view of Raku-chan, we see her in an unknown forest, a part of the town that's seemingly in the middle of nowhere. She looks up to see a white bright light and walks to it. Then we cut back to the point of view of Kaneko and Hitoshi-san looking for Raku-chan and them screaming for Raku-chan's name, and then the episode ends. To be honest, this episode was kind of the plot was there. It's just, it didn't seem all too fulfilling, or just, wasn't going anywhere. It was just only setting up for a potential part 2 to this episode. So 6 out of 10 could have been better, although the art direction was very good. So yeah. Episode 7 starts off with Raku-chan in the forest from last episode. She proceeds to look up and talk to an unknown figure that maybe or maybe not Jesus Christ. Look, I don't know. She proceeds to transform into something. And we're going back to the point of view of Raku-chan and Hitoshi-san, still looking for Raku-chan, but in the rain. Kaneko is visibly upset and Hitoshi-san tries to comfort her, as we see Bachi-san walk by Hitoshi-san.
Huh? That man.
After that, we see 3 dogs antagonizing a gray cat. Kaneko-chan tries to scare it away, and they move away. After Kaneko scares the dogs away, Hitoshi-san and Kaneko realize that it's Kaneko-chan all along. She was turned into a gray cat by the cat god or something like that. After they realize that, they proceed to pick up Raku-chan and take them back to Hitoshi-san's house. Kaneko and Hitoshi-san have one of the most productive conversations so far.
Hitoshi-san, what are we gonna do with her?
I don't know, Koneko-chan. What are we gonna do with her?
Hitoshi-san, now's not the time for jokes.
Huh. Wait, what?
Do you think it might have been the rabies?
After that, a flashback is played from episode 4 of Raku-chan being bit by the squirrel, and then the episode ends. Honestly, it was one of the greater episodes, but also one of the shortest episodes by far that I've reviewed yet. The art direction was also pretty good, so I give it a 8 out of 10. Pretty good. Episode 8 starts off with Hitoshi and Kaneko talking, and them saying that they need to spend more time with Raku-chan before the rabies gets to her. Kaneko-chan comes up with a good idea of them going to the amusement park so they can spend more time with Raku-chan. They proceed to go to the amusement park and go on a roller coaster, while Raku-chan turns back to normal for some reason. They proceed to go on a montage of various rides and even go into the pool. I want to explain very much because some of the scenes are a little explicit, if you know what I mean, but if you want to go watch the episode for yourself, I highly recommend it. Anyway, after some unnecessary scenes, we see Raku-chan, Kaneko-chan, and Hitoshi-san going back home. Hitoshi-san says his goodbyes and the girls go back in the house. After they go inside the house, Raku-chan states that she doesn't feel good, and Kaneko-chan makes her green herbal tea. After that, they proceed to go to bed and the episode ends. Honestly, one of the best episodes so far. The unnecessary imagery around the theme park was a little but yeah, it wasn't too bad. The art does still need a little bit of work, but it's getting there. It's kind of inconsistent for each episode, so honestly, 8 out of 10. Episode 9 starts off with Kaneko-chan in bed yet again. I swear to God, these episodes always starts off with them in bed. Kaneko looks to her left and sees that Raku-chan has turned back into a Neko from episode 8.
Good morning, Raku-chan. Oh my, Kami, you're a Neko again, yeah? It's not a dream.
After that, Raku-chan wakes up and proceeds to now remember Kaneko and goes in defense mode. Kaneko grabs Raku-chan to go to the vet and runs into Hitoshi-san for like the 50th time.
Top of the morning, Kaneko-chan. Raku-chan. Where are you two kawaii Nekos heading on this lovely afternoon?
Kaneko and Hitoshi-san proceed to talk on the way through to the vets and even crack a little bit of jokes, but Kaneko is locked in and has no time for his jokes. Hitoshi-san apologizes for his actions and they both have a heart-filled conversation.
I'm sorry, Kaneko-chan. I just wanted something to take my mind off of Raku-chan's pain. Her pain. It pains me to think about that pain.
It harms my heart too, Hitoshi-san. It harms my heart too.
After their heartfelt conversation, they go back inside the vets and they meet up with Vent-sama and Jesus Christ, God. Vent-sama states that she needs to check up on Raku-chan again for another checkup, and then 10 minutes later, she calls both of them inside and reveals that Raku-chan has Neko femur. I think that's what they said. The audio is kind of hard to hear.
Oh, Neko.
Vent-sama states that she can help Raku-chan turn back to normal and for them to follow her. She transforms into like next Jesus or something like that. Vent-sama tells all of them they need to shut up so the ritual could work so Raku-chan could go back to normal, and one of the funniest scenes plays out here.
I need complete silence for this spell.
Working hard or hardly working?
Vent-sama tells them that Raku-chan needs some rest and they proceed to go home. Raku-chan turns back to normal in a scene that I don't want to talk about, so if your parents are watching, please turn this off. Kaneko and Raku proceed to talk a bit more. Kaneko consoles her and then the episode ends. Honestly, it was a very good episode. The art direction was a lot better than last episode. The only issue I really have with the series is its consistency. Some episodes are good, some episodes are bad, but 9 out of 10 for this episode. I really enjoyed it. We finally get to the finale, episode 10, and it's by far one of the best episodes so far, clocking it at 18 minutes. Holy moly. This is probably by far one of the longest recaps of the series that I'm gonna do, so let's get right into it. We start off the point of view of Raku-chan yet again in bed, and she's having a nightmare. She's seemingly in the void, but running from something. From what, you may ask?
Neko-chan, Is that you? Hitoshi-san? Yeah? Konnichiwa, Haurno. Would you like some mochi ice cream?
She's meeting big, monstrous, horrifying versions of her friends that are enormous, and she's constantly being reminded of mochi ice cream and that she's not good enough. She's constantly running from something, and then she wakes up. She gets up out of bed stating that she's thirsty and walks to get some water. Seconds later, she falls down to the ground and goes to sleep. Kaneko wakes up and gets up out of bed and looks for Raku to see her fist first on the ground. She senses that the Neko demons or Tsubasas are after them and Raku.
Oh, no. The Tsubasas are back. The Neko demon.
After that, we see Hitoshi-san's point of view of him walking in the alleyway in the middle of night, and he senses Bachi-san, the character he's been dreaming of ever since episode 3 when he got kidnapped. Bachi-san states that "I've been waiting for you." It dissipates into the darkness while Hitoshi-san is looking clueless. We see him pick up a letter that Bachi-san randomly left for him to see. We go back to the point of view of Kaneko-chan rushing Raku-chan to the vet. Hitoshi-san coincidentally runs into the two and tries to make small talk with Kaneko as Kaneko is trying to open the door to the vet, but the vet is locked. Hitoshi-san helps them by kicking down the door to the vet while Kaneko-chan thanks him and resting Raku down. Kaneko-chan realizes that nobody is there and loses all hope, while Hitoshi-san states that it is 3 a.m. Raku-chan wakes up and asks what's going on to Kaneko, and Kaneko states that they're trying to get her to a vet to get her some help.
Don't worry, Raku-chan. We're just looking for the vet. Oh, don't worry, Koneko-chan. I'm fine, yeah? You don't need to always worry about me, yeah? All I need is some green tea. And then I'll be better. Okay, yeah?
After that, the main three stayed at the vet all night until Vet Sama appeared so they can get some help. Vet Sama appears and Kaneko-chan explains the deal that's going on with Raku-chan. She takes him to the place where Raku-chan was originally healed and heals her again, but states that this can't really last forever. This is important for later because she dies later in the episode. After they leave the vet, they go on a montage of basically doing everything around the mall, like clothes shopping, the pet store, and drinking, to name a few. And also the festival, which has one of the most beautiful scenery and drawings and animation to date from this series. After the montage, Hitoshi-san has to run some errands and he leaves, and Kaneko and Raku-chan watch the fireworks. After the firework festival show is over, Kaneko-chan states that she's tired and she needs to go to bed as she's really tired and wants to go home. In the morning, she gets a strange knock on the door, surprised to see who it is, but it's surprisingly her old college friends. One by one, each and every single one of her old college friends walks in. She's very grateful to see them all again so they can spend time once more. After the party's over, Kaneko-chan gives something very special to Raku that she eats all the time: mochi ice cream and ramen. Raku-chan is very ecstatic and appreciates the gift that Kaneko gave her and thanks her. Later, she goes to sleep. Kaneko and Raku wake up and Kaneko finds out that the curse is still lifted and it's been 24 hours. Raku-chan is still normal, although it seems. Keep this as a note for later because even though the curse is quote-unquote lifted, it still will come back. Raku-chan then decides that today is the day that she's going to admit to Hitoshi-san that she likes him. Yeah, the foreshadowing is a little crazy here. She asks Kaneko if they can go to his place so she can admit her feelings to him, and she says yes. On the way to his house, they somehow encounter him for like the 80 billionth time. Raku asks Kaneko if they can have some alone time with Hitoshi-san, and she leaves. And one of the best animated scenes of the series happens. For some reason, this is going to be a little bit off key, but like, the best scenes of the series have the best like animation because when she actually tries, it's really good arts. It's just kind of funny to me.
I'll leave you two alone. Hitoshi-san. Aishiteru.
After that, Raku-chan admits her feelings to Hitoshi-san and gives him a big hug. But there's something wrong. Bachi-san is there. Yeah, Raku-chan wasn't supposed to be there. It turns out all along, Hitoshi-san really liked Bachi-san this entire time. This crushes Raku-chan. He reveals that they've been going out for some time and even dating each other, even though they were talking for like 1.5 episodes. But anyway, Raku-chan is crushed by this and falls to the ground with her heart literally breaking in half. And after this dramatic scene happens, and I can't really put much commentary here, so I'm just gonna put the clip here.
The Neko demon may be gone, but my heart cannot go on.
Hey. No! Hang in there, baby.
Watashi so kimochi that I could spend last day with the two best tomodachis anyone could ever ask for. Sayonara, Koneko-chan and Hitoshi-san.
Raku-chan died. They proceed to go to the vet, all three of them, and Vet Sama can't really say much but to say that Raku-chan died. Hitoshi-san is in denial and saying that she's still alive out there even though he killed her because of a heartbreak, and asks if Kaneko is with him, but Kaneko just tells him straight in his face that she's not alive and she's dead, she's gone, she's never coming back. Bachi-san even says that he was the one who caused Raku-chan's death. And then the episode ends with its final credits. And then the end. Oh boy, that was a motherload of an episode. Almost 18 minutes. That is a full-length episode of an actual anime. Good job to Yoli-chan. That was, wow. 10 out of 10. I definitely enjoyed it. The art was really good here. Yet again, the consistency is really the problem, but I think she didn't really care because it was the end of the series and she showed off her art skills definitely. So this was an enjoyable watch, and for the final time, thank you. 10 out of 10. That's the reviews of each episode. I generally enjoyed revisiting all these episodes and reviewing them, even though it was a tassel to edit. I really enjoyed it. I didn't do the Kusumasu episodes or episode 1.5 because, well, they're not really canon to the main plot and they're just one-offs, so I didn't really have to review them that much. I definitely want to talk about the fanbase because it's definitely one of the most passionate fanbases I've been in a while. I've been in this fandom for about maybe 4 months now, and it's generally one of the best fandoms I've been in a while. There's countless fan arts being made, countless videos, countless parodies, countless pretty much everything. There's even a Discord server, and most recently there is a reanimated collab featuring around 35 artists of the first Nyan Neko Sugar Girls episode, which is by far insane and one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. Yoli-chan would be really proud. And do not forget the countless remakes of the opening for Nyan Neko Sugar Girls that are out there. There's like loads of them, like probably 30 of them, you know, just to point that out there. There's also a fan-made series about Nyan Neko Sugar Girls set in different universes and timelines, one of them being Private Dick Hitoshi-san, and it's just Hitoshi-san being a detective and finding out who killed Raku-chan in a car fire. I think. Look, I didn't watch the first episode, but I've been researching for a long time. There's also unofficial merchandise being sold of Nyan Neko Sugar Girls on the official website of NNSG with the curator's permission in mind. The only merchandise that is being sold on the website is the plushie and the DVD. I do have the DVD and bought the plushie, but the plushie isn't coming until May, and it still is on pre-order. There's also a thing called Nyan Neko Sugar Girls Direct, which is basically just Nintendo Direct, but with Nyan Neko Sugar Girls in mind and Fandom and stuff like that. The person who runs the directs are Nyan Neko Forever, aka Haurno, that also runs the unofficial website, produces the merchandise, and even owns the Discord server. He's practically one of the owners of NNSG at this point, or the representatives, I guess? Which is, funnily enough, one of the people I'm going to be interviewing in this video because, well, he's kind of one of the representatives of the NNSG community. He practically runs everything. There was planned a season 2 for NNSG confirmed by the creator from somebody named Smelly Ham on DeviantArt, but I don't think that's pretty much ever gonna happen because it would just kind of break the main canon of the ending of the story of Raku-chan dying, and just starting another season with that, just her never dying in the first place or ignoring her death, is maybe a little cathartic. There's also countless essay videos done about Nyan Neko Sugar Girls. I mean, I can only find 2 of them, but one of them is the main help of this video. But I think I've kind of talked enough about this, and I think I just want to get to the interview, so let's get to that. Hey Haurno, I was wondering if you'd be down to do an interview with me. I'm currently doing an NNSG video on my YouTube channel that's coming out pretty soon, and I plan on releasing it on the 15th anniversary of NNSG this year. I have some questions written down to ask you. If you don't have the time or simply don't want to, that's perfectly fine. Thank you for reading. Have a good day. Don't mind, sounds fun. Well, you heard the man, let's get to it! One, what got you into Nyan Neko Sugar Girls?
I got into Nyan Neko Sugar Girls around early 2018. I randomly gave a watch in the middle of class and I immediately fell in love with it. Soon after, I found the Discord server before it got hacked and decided to make the Sugoi edition divide, which eventually led to me creating Nyan Neko Forever.
Number 2, how many copies of the plush have you made so far?
For the first run, 100 copies are being made, but similar to the DVD, profit made will be used to keep it in print. But so far, 5 prototypes are out there, me having one of them.
3, have you ever talked to the creator of NNSG? If so, does she ever consider coming back to the internet?
I never got to talk with Yoli-chan. Closest we ever got was her commenting on one of my videos and subscribing to me. I would like to talk with her one day.
4, will there be any future merch like a Kaneko-chan plush or something like that?
A Kaneko plush is definitely something I want to make. But I also have plans such as a Haim DVD release and pins.
5, what do you have planned for NNSG Direct going forward?
The idea of the Direct is to make it once enough exciting things are available to be announced. Usually organize these months in advance and even allow some non-NNSG media to be shown in it. However, do an anniversary Direct every year, too.
6, do you have any plans for the future of the Nyan Neko Sugar Girls Forever channel?
I'm currently in university for an animation degree, so I don't have much time to dedicate towards the channel. But here are some things I'd like to do: complete Cursor Tomodachi Season 2 and work on AS3, character deep dives and, while not for the channel, complete Sugar Girl Raku-chan.
7, what do you think about Chrunchybagles NNSG documentary video?
Chrunchybagles video is one of the best Fandom video ever made, going into the deeper aspects of the culture of YouTube around the time. It also helped leverage the idea that NNSG is a serious work later turned satire. If anyone is an NNSG fan and hasn't watched it yet, get to it.
Final question. Are you Raku-chan?
Obviously not. My profile picture is clearly my beloved Dolce-chan. Yoli-chan is obviously Raku-chan. Anyways, here is an image of the 5 prototype plush.
Oh yeah, one more thing. You said the Discord server got hacked? Is this true? If so, can I get more information about it?
The previous owner, Commander Peepers, got hacked one day and the hacker deleted the server. At the time, I was the first to notice and quickly made a new server after confirming it was gone. It's how I funnily enough became the owner of the server. As for more info, try talking to Peepers, they might help.
And that's the end of the interview. I want to thank Haurno for letting me interview him in the first place, because I don't think Chrunchybagles in his video interviewed him, so this is one of the first interviews with Haurno, so I want to thank him. The Nyan Neko Sugar Girls is by far one of the most iconic things that come from the 2010s, and it shows because there's a still growing fan base of countless fan art being made every single day, and parodies, and TikTok accounts, and whatever's on the web, Discord servers, videos, you get the gist. Even though the creator is gone nowadays, they still are aware of this just social media stupid bullshit that's happening, like Dream's masked music video. And that's all I can think of because that's just funny to me. Yoli-chan is very much still around to this very day. She even left some new art on her DeviantArt around like a couple months ago for Kawaii Day in February. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. But she still is very active to this very day. I don't know when she's gonna ever post again, but if she does, it's gonna be something special. We all can cherish it. Thank you, Yoli-chan, for making something very special for a lot of people's childhoods, really. Even though it turned serious and it turned satire later with its terrible jokes. I really do appreciate the series being made in the first place and me finding it, and Chrunchybagles is a huge part in that for making the documents of the rabbit hole situation. But I have one burning question. You notice how there's a bunch of OCs in Nyan Neko Sugar Girls, especially on the 10th episode? That isn't fair. I want my OC to be in there. I want to be like Bumblebee from Teen Titans Go. You know what? If Nyan Neko Sugar Girls is an OC show, then I can be Neko Sugar Girls. I can be Neko Sugar Girls. Sup, the name is Markachin, and I'm the most original, edgiest character you will ever see in your entire life. I have this gun, and I'm constantly depressed and crying all the time. My dad died, and I'm just so angry. And, oh yeah, I'm an original character, do not steal, so, Baka. You know, Raku-chan is by far one of the best things to ever exist ever.
Keep on trying. I'm gonna keep on trying.
I wear a mouth with a smile 4 hours at a time.
Stare at his nutsack while I hold back my come tonight.